Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Market Fatafat. I'm Avan Dabash and with me is Cheryl D'Souza. It promises to be a jam-packed 60 minutes. We've got a whole host of stocks for you that are buzzing in trade and that are looking good on the charts. But let's kickstart the show then first up by telling you how the markets are looking, and not too bad actually. We were expecting a pretty flattish day of trade, but looks like we've, been broken out of that range now decisively above the 17,050 500 mark, making our way towards 17,550. You've got the broader markets, well, in comparison to the frontliners, a little bit subdued, but the Nifty Bank Index, that's holding out by about 0.5% or so. Winners all the way, so you've got L&T at the top of the heap at 22.44. Some order wins are really fueling gains in that one, 3.5% higher as we speak. You've got HDFC Bank as well as HDFC that have been a buzz, lots of operational updates coming in and all seem to be looking pretty strong. ITC in the green, TCS lending a helping hand. Take a look at Sun Pharma, HUL, Tata Consumer, something like Tata Motors as well as Bajaj Auto. They're continuing their run-up from from Monday's trading session. Aisha Motors, though, a little bit tempered. NTPC, Adani Enterprises, along with SBI, and Maruti is in slow gear, along with M&M, down about 0.5%.
That's the way how the market setup is looking like, Avan. And as you're speaking, you have Nifty that is now trading above the 200 DMA. So yes, we are seeing a good set of trading day right now. But let's bring on board our guest for today. We have Sumeet Mulchhandani, who is joining us on the technical front, while from the team of researchers, we have Amakshi as well as Aisha, who are joining us on the show. Remember, this is a show where we get you all the stocks that are buzzing based on news flow as well as on technical. So let me go with the first stock, and that is HDFC. A lot of companies have come out with their Q4 operational performance, and HDFC also came out with its quarterly performance. If you look at it, it's a strong set of numbers coming in for HDFC. You've seen the stock that has seen the biggest intraday jump since February 3rd. They said that during the March quarter, it assigned individual loans amounting to about 9,340 crore rupees. This is risen from 8,367 crore rupees a year ago. They've also said the net gain on fair value changes through the statement of profit and loss was about 269 crore rupees versus 267 crore rupees a year ago. The gross income from dividend was around 207 crore rupees versus 128 crore rupees. So that's the performance coming in for HDFC, a solid one coming in the quarter gone by. And you can see the stock is trading higher by about 2.6% as we speak, Avan.
Okay, yes, indeed. That's a smart mover today. Sumeet, let's get in your views on the charts as well, because it's not just today. Over the last 6 months, we have seen that build-up kicking in from 2,300 levels, now quoting at about close to the 2,700 mark. Do you believe that HDFC has all the positives already in the price, or that there's a lot more to go by way of technical trading action?
Hi, good afternoon to all. So yes, strong set of numbers, solid numbers. So on the chart also, it is showing the good breakout. If you draw a trend line, so on the weekly time frame, it has done the retest also. So all the parameters on the buy side, and today a strong Marabazu candle has been formed. So I would just recommend to accumulate this stock at the current market price and on the dips also. So we are expecting 2886 and 2952. These are the two levels which we are expecting in next 2 to 3 months. One can keep a trailing stop loss of 2590 here. So always on the buy side here.
All right, there you have it. That's the outlook coming in on HDFC, fundamentals and technicals included. Moving on, number 3, let's pull up a fertilizer stock, and that is FACT. It's in the spotlight as the fertilizer production has stood at about 1.07 million tons. The company has also seen that their overall production has soared to about 45,000 million tons, and you've seen the sales turnover that has been encouraging, close to 6,100 crores in FY 22-23. So that has been a healthy jump. The stock, as we speak, is locked in upper circuit at 226.
And that is fact for you, locked on upper circuit in today's trading session. But look at the 6-month performance of fact. Sumeet, exceptional performance coming in for this particular counter. It has doubled the returns in 6-month period. But no doubt this year has not been great for fact, especially even for the rest of the fertilizer pack. Where do you see fact headed from here on? Do you think that the rest of the year the stock will be able to build on gains?
The same commentary will be there from our side also. From June 22 to Jan 23, in the 8 months, it has given a 5 times return. Now after that, it has given a good downside also from 390 to 200. Now it is taking a support of 61.8 according to the FIBO, and at the support level it has formed a morning star pattern also, which we are getting the confirmation, and today it is locked up in upper circuit also. So we are expecting a bounce back till the levels of 267 and 290 here. One can keep a stop loss the same. Right now the previous low was 200, and we would advise to keep a stop loss of 200. One can hold for these levels.
All right, watch out for FACT, and that stock is trending higher over the last 6 months as well. Moving right on then, let's discuss metals. A lot of those stocks are in the spotlight. So Aisha, let's begin then with Hindalco first.
Conducted its investor day meet yesterday, and on the back of that we have some takeaways that have come in. Management has gone ahead and maintained its medium-term guidance. As far as profitability is concerned, management expects to reach its steady-state profitability of $525 per ton in the fourth quarter of FY24, which stood at $376 per ton in the previous quarter. As far as capex plans are concerned, the company has paced out its capex plans over the period FY24 to 28. CLSA meanwhile has come out with a note where they say that the feedback from the investor meet was rather mixed. Concrete timeline for Novelis profitability to bounce back is a positive from this particular investor day meet. However, quantitative details on factors driving weakness was missing in the investor meet, and this they believe is a negative. For now, they are maintaining their buy rating on the stock with a target price of 550 rupees per share. The stock has recovered from the lowest point of the day, sitting on with some marginal gains.
All right, that's Hindalco for you, but let's bring on board Vamakshi to talk about South Indian Bank. Then Vamakshi, and why is this one in focus today?
Cheryl, this stock is in focus on the back of its Q4 update that the company came out with. It is a provisional update that has come in from South Indian Bank, and overall, if we look at it, it looks like a disappointing set of numbers. When we look at the advances, that saw an uptick of nearly 17% on a year-on-year basis and stood at 72,107 crores. But when we compare it to larger banks such as SBI or the likes of HDFC that have actually grown by 17%, but the market seems quite disappointed with the growth that has been posted by South Indian Bank. Deposits are also up, but they are up only a mere 3% on a year-on-year basis to 91,652 crores. The asset-liability mismatch is also expected to continue. CASA did grow by 2% on a year-on-year basis, but it is the CASA ratio that actually declined from 33.8% to 33%. So overall, not a strong set of numbers, or rather not a strong set of operational update that has come in from the South Indian Bank, and that is why the stock is declining in trade, down nearly 1% as we speak.
All right, let's put the spotlight then on Bharat Dynamics, and why is this particular counter in a focus. First, let me talk about the stock price performance. At one point in time, you had Bharat Dynamics that was down in excess of about 3%, which was the biggest intraday fall coming in for the counter since March 13. The company said they recorded a turnover of about 2,458 crore rupees for FY23. This compared to 2,817 crore rupees a year ago. They've also said that design changes in production of the naval product, delay in receipt of MR-SAM kits from OEM resulted in the non-completion of the production, causing a shortfall. They've also added that the shortfall is also due to the delay in receipts of imported electronic items and critical explosive materials from original equipment manufacturers. They also said that the shortfall is likely to be expected. They're expecting to recover the shortfall in the current financial year, but definitely the street is not taking this too kindly. The stock is still trading low by about 2.8% as we speak.
All right, let's move away then from Bharat Dynamics and find out what's going on with Nazara Tech. That's a stock from the new age tech space, and in the last 5 days we've seen a pretty decent run up. Sumeet, run us through whether or not you believe that Nazara Tech merits a buy at the current price of 544.
Yes, we would recommend. If we see, there is a strong support area around the 475 to 480 levels. Last week it has made a weekly hammer, and today the stock is also up by 5 to 6%. So we are getting the follow-up also. Also, news is there by to take some majority stake in some Singapore company. So here we are expecting the good run-up till the levels of 780. So looks attractive here, and one can keep the same stop loss of 475. We are expecting this 780 levels to touch in next 3 to 6 months.
All All right, let's find out what else is trending in trade today. And then at number 7, you've got SKF India. Finally, the talks with respect to the company's acquisition are culminating as they are going to acquire a 26% stake. This is in CleanMax Enviro Energy Solutions. That company is essentially what they have agreed is that they're going to acquire 2,600 fully paid up equity shares of rupees 10 each, which is equivalent to that 26% stake. And this is of CleanMax Tayo from CleanMax Enviro Energy Solutions. The objective is to have energy cost reduction, 100% renewable energy sourcing, GHG emission reduction as well. So we'll be watching out for that stock. Do remember, the company is a supplier of products, solutions and services within rolling, bearing, seals as well as lubrication. Stock higher by 1.5%.
All right, let's shift focus to a counter which hit a record high level in today's trading session, and that is Varun Beverages. Sumeet, if you look at the counter over the last 1 year, a spectacular set of returns coming for Varun Beverages, but it seems to be consolidating at least in this year itself. Where do you see Varun Beverages headed from here on now that it has scaled a new record high?
First of all, I would like to give a disclaimer that we are holding this script for the long-term view in our client portfolio. Now, this is the script. Whenever it is getting a fall, we are heading for to accumulate this stock. So every dip is a buy. Last time also the stock made a new high of 1400 and made a new dip till 1100. Now the stock is getting the new high today. We are expecting 1640 in the coming 1 or 2 months. And if already anybody is holding, one can keep a stop loss of 1330. So, and one more fact is there, as per the technicals, 200 moving average is the most strong indicator you can say. From November 2020, the stock has never traded below the 200 moving average. So till the time it is trading above, one can keep for the long term. So that is the main reason for the holding also. And it can, like these stocks, if you have 2 to 3 stocks, then your portfolio will be stronger.
Varun Beverages up and away in trade. Moving right on then, Aisha, let's really go through that list of metal stocks because it's Hindustan Zinc as well that's in the spotlight, a newsmaker today.
Well, absolutely. In fact, let's give you a brief background. It was on the 19th of January when the board of directors of Hindustan Zinc had proposed to acquire Vedanta Zinc International Business for about $2.98 billion US. The government had later on opposed to this particular transaction. One of the reasons, of course, was expensive valuations. Now, Economic Times has reported, citing sources, that the Hindustan Zinc is unlikely to act on the proposal to buy Vedanta Zinc International Business. They say Hindustan Zinc has till date not presented any non-cash deal option to the government, and as per rules, if Hindustan Zinc's board does not get this particular deal approved from the shareholders within a period of 3 months, it automatically lapses. It is likely to hold its board of directors meeting on the 21st of April, by which time the current proposal would have in any case lapsed. So on account of this news flow that has come in Economic Times, citing sources that this deal may probably not go through, Hindustan Zinc is in focus today. In fact, it is up and away, 2.3% higher for Hindustan Zinc.
That's Hindustan Zinc for you. But let's put the spotlight on Avenue Supermart, or Dmart as we all know it, Sumeet. And this particular stock has not given much returns over the last 1 year, or even for the matter of fact, this year itself, that's 2023. But over the last 1 week or so, the stock is picking up some sort of steam. Do you think that it will be able to sustain that sort of a momentum and only move higher from here on?
Within the last 3 sessions, the stock has given a return of 12%. Still, it is looking good. Upside, there are the chances of the gap filling, which is around the levels of 3850. Current market price is 3650. So one can expect the 3850 level if it is, and if already anybody has done the purchase in the bottom is made around the 3300 level. So one can keep a trailing stop loss here 3500 and expect a target of 3850.
3850, that's the kind of target to watch out for on Dmart or Avenue Supermart. Moving right on then, Vamakshi, let's discuss Federal Bank in detail.
Nifty, this counter is in fact declining in trade on the back of its Q4 provisional update that came in. When we look at the advances, that grew by nearly 20% on a year-on-year basis to 1,77,480 crores. Now, this is a bit of a negative. Markets are not impressed since we're seeing that the banks the size of HDFC and SBI are already growing at 17%, and therefore smaller banks such as Federal Bank are expected to grow much higher, but that growth has not come in. That is a negative that the market is weighing on. The deposits also, however, grew by 17.4%. CASA grew by 4% on a year-on-year basis, but it is the CASA ratio that has continuously declined. We are seeing that CASA ratio has gone down from 34.2% to 32.7% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. So on the back of that Q4 provisional update from Federal Bank, the stock is declining in trade today, down over 3% as we speak.
All right, Sumeet, let's put the spotlight on Max Health. We have the management on ET now this morning, who sounded pretty optimistic about the inorganic growth opportunities as well as capacity expansions for the hospital chain. But on the charts, the stock has only been in the consolidatory phase over the last 1 year or so. Where do you see Max Health headed from here on? Do you see positive outcome going ahead?
Sorry to say, but 3 weekly bearish candles back to back, then double top rejection also near the lifetime high. So we have the bearish view here. Currently, it is trading around the 420 levels. So it is a strong support area, which is the consolidation area also. So if this level is broken, we are expecting more downfall till the 400 levels also. So if anybody is holding, we would advise just to exit if trading below the 420 levels.
All right, so we expect more downside in store for Max Healthcare. But let's put the spotlight on IOL Chemicals then. And this particular counter at one point in time saw an uptick of approximately 5%, taking the stock to the highest level since February 17. The company said that they had appointed Vikas Vij as the CEO effective April 3rd. And on back of this particular development, we've seen the stock that is actually trading much higher. Right now, the stock is trading higher by about 3%. Off the day's highest point, but still strong gains coming in for IOL Chemicals, Avan.
Yes, indeed. But let's move on then. And at number 14, Sumeet, you're picking out a Sonata Software. Yes, we have seen in the last 6 months, the stock has really gathered quite a bit of pace. At 835, would it be a buy recommendation given the recent phase of consolidation?
We would be cautious here. In the last 6 months, stock has run from 490 to 890 levels. We are expecting a profit booking here. Yesterday in the lifetime high, it has given an inverted hammer also, which is a sign of bearishness. So we are expecting some profit booking here. Now today's low is important. If it is broken, then we would advise to exit from the stock. And if it is getting the follow-up of the today's low, then 750 can be the next level to touch. So downside is possible from here.
All right, a bit of downside is possible. That's Sonata Software, pretty heady in the last 6 months. Moving right on, we also spoke with the management Cheryl of Lemon Tree, and they were pretty confident that prices are going to be on the rise despite the phenomenal rates that we've been shelling out for hotels and completely booked out rooms. But that's not the only reason they're in focus. You've got a lot of positive brokerage notes and the fact that the company has been on a massive expansion spree. Just recently, actually, they signed a license agreement. This is for an 88-room property, which is called Peninsula Suites in Whitefield in Bengaluru. They said that it's going to be operational by October and shall be managed by Carnation Hotels, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of the company. They've also recently just opened a 44-room hotel in Kerala. Last month, they signed a license pact for a 60-room hotel in Sri Ganganagar in Rajasthan. And so the company has clearly been on an expansion spree. They're talking about as well being net debt-free, as well as achieving a healthy turnover, and how the company as well is looking to open their latest property that's going to be near the airport in Mumbai, and that's going to be operational in a few months. It's going to be managed completely by Lemon Tree Hotels and will overall aid their revenue and EBITDA performance.
All right, that is Lemon Tree for you. The stock is holding up gains of about 1.7% as we speak. But Sumeet, let's put the spotlight on Aisha Motors then. And this one's performance has been lagging since the start of the year. Where do you see this one headed now?
Yeah, despite a good number from the auto sector, the stock is still not performing. And two back-to-back red candles on the daily time frame. So still our view is bearish. it has also got a rejection from the previous resistance area, which is around 3060 to 3090. So 2 days back there was a gap up, and today that gap has been also filled. So we are expecting more downside here. We are expecting the level 2850, which is the previous low, to touch. Now, if already anybody is holding, we would advise to just exit, and 2850 will be the next area which we are looking for. If it is broken and sustained below, more downside can be there. So first target is 2850.
Right, keep a track of all those levels that Sumeet has flagged off. Aisha, moving on away from metals, let's discuss then what's happening in the alcohol space, and that's United Spirits that you're discussing. It's a hot stock today.
Absolutely, and this one is in focus on the back of a brokerage note. Citi, in fact, has come out with a note where they've opened a 90-day downside catalyst watch on United Spirits. They say they expect pressure on near-term performance of the stock. Citi expects slower than expected pan-India rollout of innovation strategies that the company has implemented. As far as the pre-popular portfolio of the company is concerned, Citi expects growth slower than anticipated. Stock has underperformed Nifty over the last 3 months. In fact, in the last 3 months, United Spirits is down nearly 10% due to margin dilution surprise that the company had reported in the previous quarter. They believe near-term business performance can lead to further consensus earnings cut, and hence the company Citi has gone ahead and opened a 90-day downside catalyst watch on the stock. The stock has recovered from the low point of the day. It is absolutely flat as we speak.
All right, let's talk about HAL then, Sumeet. And where do you see this one headed, given the fact the focus on defense is only growing by the day, isn't it, Avan? So HAL has had a good ride over the last 1 year. Do you expect this one to sustain it?
Last week company declared its number, but got a rejection from the market. Okay, so last 10 to 15 session prior also, it given a good profit booking of around 15 to 20% from its lifetime high. So we think it is a fresh round of selling. Started with the strong inverted hammer with the confirmation, and today also it is down by almost 2%. So levels to watch will be 2500. Current market price is 2680. If closing below the 2500 levels, then 2300 is on the card. So better to keep a stop loss of 2500 if anybody has a long-term view.
Okay, there you have it. That's HAL for you, getting a thumbs up on the technicals as well as fundamentals. Moving on then, Vamakshi, let's discuss Hindustan Bank and the latest updates here.
Well, absolutely. Now, this counter saw that the advances grow by nearly 21% on a year-on-year basis. It also grew by 6% on a sequential basis to 2,89,965 crores. When we look at the deposits, we're seeing a rise of nearly 15% on a year-on-year basis and 3% on a sequential basis to 3,36,400 crores. Now, the CASA ratio, however, for this company has contracted. It was 42% in the last quarter, and it has contracted to 40.1% this time around. So definitely a bit of a downside coming there, and that is the reason why the stock is declining in trade today. We have Hindustan Bank tanking over 1% as we speak.
All right, moving the spotlight from one bank to another, ICICI Bank. Aisha, why is this one in news? Q4 performance as well?
It is in focus on the back of a note that has come in from Citi. They've opened a 90-day catalyst watch on the upside. They've maintained a buy rating with a target price of 1100 rupees on ICICI Bank. They say ICICI Bank has remained flat in the last 6 months, and they're expecting stronger than consensus estimates for Q4 FY23 results. They're seeing estimates upgrade for ICICI Bank over a period of time. They say Street is apprehensive of more than 20% core operating profit growth in FY24 and 25. Credit demand, however, for retail, SME and business banking segment is likely to hold up. For now, they are maintaining their buy rating with a target price of 1100 rupees per share. And on the back of this Citi note that has come in, the stock is in focus today.
All right, keep an eye out on ICICI Bank. 883 is where it's currently at. Tell you what, we'll take a very quick break, but the countdown continues. Loads of other stocks that are lined up on the other side of Market Fatafat.